Ba-dum bum bum bum. Slap back, chat frat. Slap back, chat frat. Slap back, jelly frat. Slap back, jelly frat. Slap back.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Are we live? Oh, have I messed it up already?
No, it's all right. It's okay.
Are we live? Is it live? Are we doing it? Is this it? Are we in?
Oh my God.
Are we in? Let's get it.
Are we in?
Let's go. Let's start. 1 sec.
Do we hear the theme tune, or does that get added on afterwards?
I don't want to hear it.
Okay, let's. Just before we start, I hope people don't mind if I just want to say a few quick things before we start. Just to think about it as a little pep talk. Okay, so you guys are great. It's been going well. A lot of people up high, the guys, management, they've been given a lot of comments. Generally, everyone's very happy with how things are going. There's a few comments, sure. There's a few dissenters, a few detractors, but don't let that get under your skin, okay? We need to go in there high energy. Okay. Let's imagine that, it's not the case that they're going to pull the funding if we don't, succeed on this, but let's imagine that could be the case.
Is that right? Happy with the ratings, management?
No, not the ratings. No, but they were.
What are the current ratings?
The ratings are stable. They have not changed.
That's good.
Stable ratings. There we go. Consistent.
Yeah. We are very consistent on the ratings front. They were very management very happy at the amount of product placement and endorsements we were doing.
And we have got a new sponsor.
Yeah, we got a new sponsor. They were very happy with.
I've gone big, boys. I've gone big.
Yeah, McDonald's, chopped tomatoes.
Nurse them.
They were happy with how we were weaving in our hashtag content into the overall kind of flow. But there's a few comments, but all I want to say is imagine it's the last dance, It's not, but it is, and let's go in high energy and this is one last hurrah. Death or glory, this is battle stuff, if we don't succeed, we die, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So are we ready?
Yeah.
And they didn't want to name names or pick out individuals or anything. Management not keen on that. They see us as a collective.
They did draw the people they didn't like. It was a weird kind of Pictionary type.
How did the people look? Was it an accurate representation, or
it was bang on? They were basically they were sketching it. They were sketching it over a photo. To be honest, I don't even know why they bothered.
When you
it was so
racing. Yeah,
they'd taken a screenshot and they said we're not going to name names, and then they just started outlining.
Did they hold it up to the window so they could see the photo?
Yeah, they put it on the window and then sketched it.
Were there five individual sketches?
There were 4 or 5. Yeah, five
of the same person.
Yeah, they really didn't like this person.
Get another angle on somebody's.
They had to drag Gary out. He wouldn't stop sketching him. They said, Gary, that 5's enough. He said, no, I'm going to fucking sketch that bastard again.
Sketch him out of history. Well, we know it's a he.
We know it's a he.
Oh, I'm boy.
Okay.
Right, are we ready? Are we ready with that pep talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome. Oh, sorry, that's way too underpowered, isn't it?
Oh man, Gary's gonna fuck. Oh.
I can't take the pressure. Someone else tag in. Who's got a good?
Get Beth to slap you in the face.
Yeah, I'm retiring from intros. It's a time someone took the mantle up. One of you boys, you could do it. My boys, my good boys.
Put ourselves in Gary's firing line. No, thank you. Gary's on the warpath.
And
Gary management.
Okay, Gary. I'll do it. I'll go in high energy. Yo! Hello, welcome to Slapback Chat Frat. It's been a little bit of a break. We've had a cool 4 or 5 months off. In that time, we've been doing nothing but building content, sourcing our lives for rich material, to entertain you with. And without further ado, we're just going to get straight back into it because you've missed us, we've missed you. But there's a little word on the grapevine that Russell Garnett has got some very, very strong content. He's been bragging about it in the pre-show preamble. So, Russ, what you got for us?
Well, it took a couple of weeks out for this one.
Yeah.
But it's hot, it's fresh, and it's original. It's the sort of thing I think we can get into for a couple of hours. When, sometimes you read a book and there's like a passage in it and they talk about something, you go, that's brilliant. Nobody's ever highlighted that before. You really feel empathetic to the author and you feel like they've seen your life. Or here's something that I did the other day that I thought was probably never been written in a book, but maybe it has. When you get an instruction manual and or it doesn't even have to be an instruction manual, but typically it is, and you unfold it, and it's all, it's got the creases of the way it was folded, and then you fold it back, and it's got a certain way that it gets put back together. That's quite a satisfying process.
What about the order of the creases then?
So I wanted to talk.
When you manage to follow the order of the creases, yeah.
When you follow the order of the creases, you put a bit of effort in, but it's like it's folding itself. It's doing its own work. You're just guiding it.
And quite a zen kind of thing.
It's almost like the manual's instructing you in some way.
Exactly.
The final gift of the manual.
Yeah.
The plot twist is it's an origami manual, and it's telling you how to fold it.
Yeah, who's the dog and who's the wagging tail is what I don't understand in that scenario. But the pleasure when you just gently guide it back in. I was just thinking, I've never read about that in a novel, and there's a lot of novels going, and I just thought it would be a good thing if anyone's writing a book or wants to observe some of the key facets of human life. I just thought that would be something that is unexplored.
It's book content, isn't it?
I was just going to say, I wonder, that moment when you name something and you're the person that gets to name a thing. That happens so infrequently in life now, doesn't it? But you've got something here. We've got an opportunity tonight to coin the term.
You think it hasn't got a name?
Yeah, I don't know.
What folding?
No. It's the enjoyment.
The exact process. Yeah, you could.
No, it's not folding. It's the enjoyment from.
Oh, the enjoyment of folding. Yeah, okay. So it could be called Russellfication.
I like it because you get all the glory. You get all the glory for that. That's brilliant. And then
Russellolitude.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, Russellolitude. I quite like the idea. If it was being written about in a book, every book's got its peaks and troughs. It would be quite nice because that's quite a kind of satisfying, low-key, kind of mundane but enjoyable little experience. You want to put that in between several peaks. So, there's a serial killer. He's just gone on a rampage in the centre of London, and then he goes back to his flat. And then there's 60 pages of description of him folding. And he's back. He's rampaging again. Three pages of rampage, and back to 60 pages of folding.
Maybe that's what's inspiring his rampage is this inability to get a successful refolding.
Oh well, that's another thing. When you refold it back. And you think
it doesn't go,
and then the final thing, and you go, well, that doesn't sit snugly. That's abutting the other piece of paper. Oh yeah.
Start again.
Do you start at that point though? This says a lot about who you are. Do you start again, or do you just wedge that instruction manual back in the drawer and say, you know what, me and you are done professionally?
Well, there is a school of thought that says if you do it incorrectly. If you just do it enough and ram it back in, you forge your own new way of folding.
Is it a better path, maybe?
Different. I don't know if it's better. I mean, it depends. It probably still takes the same amount of time. I don't know if it would give you quite the same satisfaction as
but then you have the satisfaction of knowing that you've bested the instruction manual. You want to go your way? No. I've dominated you. I've overpowered you. and over time, like a war of attrition, I've opened you up. I don't need the instructions. I put it together years ago. I just keep opening you up and putting you back the wrong way, just to let you know who's boss.
I will never put this table together. The table will be used as firewood, but the instructions will remain bent my way.
Eventually, if you fold it that many times, the folds wear to the point where the paper actually comes apart, and then you can go in with like some sellotape, put it back together again, and eventually what you'll end up with is a patchwork quilt of bits of paper held together on the seams by sellotape, which is quite a beautiful thing in itself.
Bearing the scars of failure or success.
This is the kind of low-key domestic philosophy you want to drop on a date. Yeah. That's the kind of That's the kind of first date Tinder kind of stuff.
That is good first date.
Have you ever noticed? When you're bringing out your A material, like, so what do you do? I work in accounting. Cool. Do you have any instruction manuals for accounting? No. Well, funny you should talk about instruction manuals. I didn't. Well, no, but we are. So
now we're there.
Now we're already there.
I've
We're just going to weave it in.
With me.
This is the tube map.
Watch the way this one just folds. And this actually, little quirk about this one, it actually started as a flat piece of paper, and I created the folded path along the way I wanted to go.
God of the instruction manual.
I would be more excited about someone that came with their own folding of something. There's a little bit of heart in that, isn't there?
It's kind of like whatever the folding equivalent is of ASMR, isn't it? Because maybe you should start a YouTube channel, Russ, of you unfolding and very kind of meticulously and effortlessly refolding instruction manuals, and end each video with just a little no worries.
Naked, obviously.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
If it doesn't exist, I think that would be a very satisfying watch.
Folded.
I think it would, undoubtedly, yeah.
And because people would tune in to see like the level of complexity. 1 week, sure, it might be it might be a kind of 2-pager. The next week, who knows what you're taking on? Maybe what
Rush folds A1.
Maybe 1 week it's one of those kind of ordnance survey maps that you get in the back of cars, where everyone keeps in the car and you're like, it's way out there. What are the chances of getting that back first time in exactly the right order? I mean, you've got to close your eyes and just go with the flow of the map. You've got to follow the contours of the map.
Let the map guide you. Don't fold it. You just feel the fold.
Yeah.
I do remember one of the kind of most formative moments of my life, actually, talking about folding. I always used to get my sleeping bag back in the bag, would fold it meticulously, squeeze it back in there, fold, roll, fold, get the air out, until a certain Dan Reed told me, just stuff it, just stuff the mother, just get it in there and stuff it. I can remember him saying, it wants to be stuffed, just stuff it. and I think about that every time I put a sleeping bag away, every time I stuff that bag in there with my fist. You want to go in the bag, Oh. So yeah, folding isn't always good, is my point.
And there's never been any problems with stuffing? You don't find a little bit creeping out the top at the end?
No, you just stuff that.
Yeah. The beauty is, you're finished when it's done.
If it's not in, just stuff it some more.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's the gift that keeps giving, isn't it?
So stuffing, folding.
And how much time has that saved you? Do you think, Dave? That little nugget of advice.
Oh, I think probably over the years, 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're welcome.
All right. Well.
What are you going to do with that 20, 30 minutes?
No, I've already done it. It's already gone.
You've already done it.
What did you do with it?
Spent it, mate. Already spent it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I did.
You wouldn't understand.
I spent that folding up the instruction manual to how to put the sleeping bag back in the bag. Obviously, I respected that.
Yeah, you can't scrunch a manual. Doesn't respond in the same way as sort of nylon material.
That's a lovely bit of everyday wisdom, everyday advice. You know, just stuff it. It wants to be stuffed. I'm trying to think if someone's ever given me a little bit of low key wisdom like that that I've used or from time to time, but it's become part of my life. Have you guys ever had any ever?
I've got a few that I've made up myself. Yeah.
So this is you bettering your own life through your own mind and ingenuity. That's exactly what I asked. Yeah. Okay. What are yours, Russ?
No. So this is if you work in an office. This one, actually, a lot of them are office based.
Okay.
I used to spend a lot of time in office. So first office-based life rule is if they want to speak to you, they'll call again. Don't answer the phone.
Nice.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, if they really want to get in touch with you, they will email. So don't answer the second call. Wait for the email.
Yeah. Were you sacked by any chance?
Didn't that place go?
Yeah. If they really want to get in touch with you after the email, they will come to the office.
Yeah.
If they come to the office and you're hiding in the toilet, they will find you at home. All I'm saying is you want to wait till people come to your personal address and say, what's going on? Why haven't you done any of the stuff you said you would do?
The spreadsheet. I just need the report from last week. I'm here. It's 9 p.m. and the toilet. We do this every single month. Give it the spreadsheet.
And only at that point do you say, touche, sir. You bested me. Here's the report.
The spreadsheet.
Now get out my toilet.
Requirements.
If you need me, just call. So that would be my office-based philosophy. It's about managing your own time for the best use of that time.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's very good. What about you, Fonts? Any rules or anything that anyone's told you that has helped you live your life, or indeed your own wisdom that you'd like to pass on? Your own we're talking homespun wisdom. Yeah.
Homespun wisdom. I don't know. I've got
somebody who's told you that's improved. Like,
take off your shoes when you go to someone's flat.
Yeah.
No, never. Never. I've just got like shoe nudes now, so keep the shoes on still protects the flat. I've evolved with my shoes.
Oh, have you got the covers that go on over the top?
Oh yeah. So you don't have to go for the rigmarole.
Have you actually got them?
Yeah. I picked them up ages ago. I think it was like one time we went to a place and I got in a lot of trouble for wearing shoes, but still refused to take them off. This might have been maybe like 12 or 13 years ago, but you know, like
what? I'm not sure I understand what's going on. What are these covers?
Mistaken.
Basically, I went to a party a very long time ago, and Joseph Webb was also. And Russell, were you there as well?
Feels like I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. It was many moons ago, and they had this like shiny white carpet, which, to be fair to them, they did manage to basically cover in red wine. So I didn't think my shoes would be as offensive as red wine. But anyway,
is that being fair to them, or is that being? That doesn't feel like it's fair to them.
I feel like
that feels like you're undermining them.
Let's explore the fairness.
It was just after that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm came out where there was a big debacle with, Larry David not taking his shoes off at a party. So I kept with the same, Curb spirit, and it didn't go very well at all.
As it does on the episode with Curb, he gets punished by it as well, doesn't he?
Well, I thought, Curb in real life might work out better.
I had a kind of a grudging respect for you for refusing to bend for something so trivial.
I know. I did.
It's like, what's the problem? But I thought, no, he's made his stand, and God bless him. This is the hill he's choosing to die on.
When I was
sticking with it,
when I was younger, right?
shoes, but yeah, the shoe snoods takes all the the aggro out of it. So
So just to clarify, you now, when you turn up at a party, you have a little pair of sort of pop socks.
Whoa!
That you pop.
The party, I just presume you can wear shoes anyway. But just like a normal house thing.
You turn up to somebody's house that isn't a party.
Turn up to a party in a mosque.
Yeah, every time I go to a mosque.
So you've got on your little pop shoes, and then you go about your business. And nobody's ever confused you for like a sky installation man or a wood, because when people come around.
Crime scene cleaner.
Crime scene cleaner. Yeah. I can't say I've ever seen a workman wearing shoe snoods before. And that's just like
what shoe snoods are. What? I need to see shoe snoods.
They're just like little, imagine a shower cap, basically, that you put around your shoe.
And it is if somebody comes to do any work on your property, they will pop them on because they don't want to damage your flooring and have to pay.
That's never happened in my property.
Never in mine either.
Really?
I've never come across it in the work
thing then, because everyone in Essex has white fluffy carpets. You see, that's standard issue. So every work tradesman comes in, puts in the pop socks. So
they're not these like blue things.
That'll do them, yeah.
They're like a blue disposition, yeah.
Right.
They got
but the ones that I used to wear at Ginsters were blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same as the ones at Ginsters. Yeah, same technique.
And do you feel, Fontas, if you're let's just say you're chatting to a young female at the party, and she's
in a hazmat suit,
she's taking it all in from hat down, chest.
Oh yes.
And then she goes right down to the bottom, and you've got sort of little granny pop socks on, and you see her face drop. Does that ever happen, or does it go the other way? Does she respect you because you respect her?
What planet
it goes the other way?
That'd be the best part of the outfit, the shoe snoods. Well, it depends on how you incorporate the shoe snoods into the outfit. Depends what pants you're wearing.
Well, so if you kind of wear blue fluffy things elsewhere, it kind of fits in.
You've got a
pants outside trousers would be good too.
But actually, I think it's actually a bit of a stroke of genius, because whenever do you remember when we used to go out with Rob? We would all go out on like a night out, and Rob used to wear a selection of different hats. Different seasons of his life, there would be a different hat.
The little
the monkey hat, the rainbow hat. Then he progressed into the kind of. He got a bit more serious when he went for the Daniel Bedingfield trilby, or But girls would always stop and talk to him
about the hat.
The hat was the first thing, can I try your monkey hat? Can I try And then he would talk to them for 6 or 7 hours until they were too tired to resist.
And then sex was.
So I mean, I can see the pop socks. It's a start, isn't it? It's a conversation starter. Why are you doing that? Why are you like this? Those kind of it's a.
It's like wearing Cuban heels. Anyway. Yeah, it's the same thing, But if you pair a set of Cuban heels with some shoe snoods, boff, in there straight away. Everyone's just flocked around you. What's the deal with the feet, etc., etc. Yeah.
Well, what's quite nice about the as a short man, I would quite appreciate the Cuban heels with the pop sock, because no one knows what kind of heel you're rocking underneath that pop sock.
Oh, no one knows. Those weird adverts you get for those things you put in your shoes that make you 3 inches taller.
I do not, but what are they? Are they lifts? Is that what
I'd be interested?
I haven't. What?
Have you seen on Instagram or Facebook? Like they're all over the shop. Like I'll be 3 inches taller or whatever. Oh, okay, maybe look into it. But the shoes,
pair of stilettos on.
Where whatever level of heel, no one's going to know. No one.
That's true.
Could it built some height to the schnood as well? No one knows how padded that schnood is.
If you really want to impress people, have some kind of remote control kind of lift device, so that halfway through the evening you just press a discrete button and go. from your finger.
Jack yourself up by another inch.
Yeah.
Is that
like
Wonder Bra do that?
Or
You've been talking to this girl for about an hour. You just need to see the deal. So it's. Did you know that instruction manuals for a Hitachi when they unfold?
I like the idea. You just
seal the deal.
Keep it for seduction, and if anyone ever starts on you, you could just kind of go. You what?
You what, mate? I've got another 4 meters on these.
I mean, yeah, I would still be shorter than the assailant, but that would be the most pathetic thing. That you go a little taller, but
you always get up to eye level. Yeah, there we go.
You what?
Down you down. Slightly from below. I've never seen you short, Webby. How short are you?
Oh no, he's short. He is short.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know, 5'8", I think.
Okay.
I don't think you are. I don't think you're short. I think I'm the same height as you, and I like to think I'm 5'9".
Oh, I like to think I'm 5'10".
I think your hair gives you a solid 2 inches, though, Dan. I mean,
I mean, look at this.
Beautiful.
If you wanted to, you could be 6'5". You could just keep
I had the big hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
So wait, I feel we've got off topic. Fontes, what was the advice? Was the advice you were given to wear pop socks, the shoe snoods, or was it that you just realised that as a thing in life?
Maybe I realised. I can't remember where that even came from, but it just brought up shoe snoods. So yeah, I don't think anyone imparted it. Maybe Ginsters. Maybe it was all that training at Ginsters. Maybe that was the Ginsters training is just affects future life and how to deal with it.
My primary memory of Ginsters, so we should, in case anyone ever watches this for the sake of posterity or the future or whatever, so we used to work overnight in a factory that made pasties, and the hours were long.
Pasties, for clarity, in case pasties don't exist.
Okay, in the future, pasties are a kind of delicious meat or cheese and onion based pastry treat. Treats for the purposes of clarity. Anyway, the hours were long, the work was hard. We're talking 12-hour shift, 7:30 at night till 7:30 in the morning. My main memory of was how kind of because we were doing it quite a few nights a week, that becomes your world. The inside of that factory kind of becomes a big part of your life, and it becomes your world. And I remember we moved, we just kind of started, developing banter around the different characters in the factory. Who was doing what? Oh, here comes Ron Seal, so called because she was very brown, looked like she'd been painted by Ron Seal wood paint.
Did exactly what she said on the tin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah.
There were, we just started getting into all sorts of things. Like there were people that we became very attracted to who, by just a process of being very in close proximity, that perhaps would not have been people that conventionally we might have found attractive, but
it's the pen box
lovely
breaks. Yeah.
It's the you go to prison, you think, okay,
Big Clive.
Big Clive.
Wrong deal.
It did make me think when you were and when I saw a newspaper article the other day, it said £3,000 to go and work in an Amazon factory. And I thought if we were young today, we'd be working in an Amazon factory.
We might well. I mean, £3,000. Did it say what time frame? That's
that's
the rest of your life.
Signing on bonus. I don't know when.
Signing on bonus. Wow.
Signing on bonus for £3,000 is very short of operatives, and then you receive an hourly wage for delivering goods to the right place.
You see, I don't think we would. Us as 17, 18, 19-year-olds would not have fared well in the kind of the high-tech Amazon factory, which kind of monitors progress and productivity, and things buzz at you when you haven't met your targets.
Do you think we'd be influencers?
Oh,
yeah.
We would influence we would influence people to stop ordering from Amazon. But there was when we were working at Ginsters, we were frequently making mistakes. We were almost always we were going out to the car for shall we say herbal refreshments, and going back in, and there were many a pasty pile up which could have been avoided.
Less so.
Are you talking metaphorically or literally?
No, I'm talking literally. There were mounds of pasties. We're talking hundreds of pasties sometimes.
Yeah, my favourite technique was the old steal a couple of pasties, pop them in the pocket, go to the cleaning cupboard, snaffle the pasties in the cleaning cupboard, straight back out, scot-free.
Oh, little hot pocket.
Yeah, a little the hot pocket.
Free food whilst at work. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, man. In my time there, the last thing I wanted to do was eat a fucking pasty.
Wow,
I didn't know you worked at the Ginsters factory, Dave.
I did my time there.
Well, did you?
Were you in management though, Dave? You weren't on the shop floor.
Dave was hired as a temp, but they just took one look at him and said, "Get to the top floor, you fucking legend."
Was it Big Gay Outlet in you?
The thing is, the top floor was just another set of conveyor belts with pasties going to boxes. It wasn't any different than the ground floor.
Well, they took one look at you and they said, "Look, here's a suit from Moss Bros. We got a tailor out back who will give your approximate measurements, in you go. Is it
from McKay's?
Here's a very small desk, just that way."
There's a chute that delivers pasties to your desk, and you just have to file them away in the right drawer.
P for pasty.
It's always P for pasty. That's a pasty. Oh, steak bake. Oh, nearly fucked that up.
It's all right. There was only one drawer.
Would you say, Ollie, that is the hardest job or the most depressing job you've had, or have you gone more?
No. Hard.
You had a harder job than that.
I mean, it wasn't hard either. I'm just what was it? It was
soul
just
destroying, I guess.
I'm surprised to hear you say it wasn't depressing. I think I cried.
Monday.
Dawson's Creek is the depression instigator, but I don't think I ever cried at the actual factory.
Say that again. Dawson's Creek was the what?
Oh, because we used to go home and Dawson's Creek was on in the morning, and then Dawson's Creek. You know what the. Yeah. You know the heartstrings that they're tugging. They kind of remove them. Yeah.
So after a hard night of pasties, you come back for a little morning Dawson Creek, and that'd fuck you up.
Yeah.
Fucking words, all these kids. There's so many emotions.
Oh God, they know so many words.
Just hook up. Just hook up. You love each other.
You're perfect. Oh, you're perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it was. It was bad. Don't get me wrong, but it was only going to be a month. Well, 2 months effectively for me, but still only going to be a month. So you're going to get out of there with a fat wad of super cash to go travelling.
You were just doing a 2 stretch, weren't you?
I know. Well, I got that. I got a
2
sweet job with.
Yeah, that's the thing. You were plucked.
Yeah,
great.
You were My Fair Ladies.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We used to see, we'd be working hard, cracking rocks, metaphorically, obviously just packing pasties, but
pasty rocks,
cracking pasty rocks in the glaring sun, whilst Ollie sashayed past in a lovely little kind of My Fair Lady dress, again metaphorically.
I
mean, I don't know how. I'm not really convinced of this metaphor, but. Yeah, you were plucked and shown the high life. What were the best? So remind me. So you.
Why does this feel like a sexual? Why is this sexual in some way? What's happening?
Oh, because it absolutely
there was a sexual thing that happened. That's
right.
why.
Okay.
I really need to
Right,
nip
slow
off,
this down. Right, I got to catch up. Right, where you passed
Too much energy.
Right, he's Webby there. He appears. What's he doing?
Joe's left his posh pan.
Oh, you already know. So yeah, after I got, I'm going to say head scouted for the high life in Ginsters, the guy who employed me to do basically absolutely nothing. We'd just get in like hungover to fuck and be like, oh, do you fancy going and get pissed in a pub somewhere rather than go to work? So I was like, hell's yells. So one of those occasions, we went to the Barbican in Plymouth, where his flat paid by Ginsters, which was quite a good, sweet deal.
During your shift, is this?
When we were at work, yeah. So we drove to Plymouth from, where is it, Callington? Wherever it is.
Callington.
Callington, yeah. We drove to Plymouth in his little hairdresser's car. And, we went to the pub, met up with a load of his mates who all seemed to be like my age, even though he was probably in his, I'd say, late 40s, early 50s. Nice. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then, really, really, really drunk. And then we went back to his flat, and his gay housemate who was there, again, similar age to myself. Yeah. So big passed out. So it was just me and the dude, and we were just chatting. And the guy was like, oh, who's your favourite like celebrity crush, whatever, at the time? And I was like, oh, Sarah Michelle Gellar. It was the era of Buffy.
Yeah.
Buffy.
Vampire.
Buffy.
Yeah, and this guy basically, he tried to kiss me. I was like, whoa, sorry, I'm not into dudes or whatever. And then. He basically, I don't know if it's he wanted to give me a blowjob, and his exact words, whilst very drunk, whilst I was supposed to be at work, were lie back and think of Buffy.
Oh my goodness me! Wow,
that's I don't know. Both is good for me, eating or Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I was like, I can't do this. Is crazy. And then I managed to like bang on Al's door. I was like, dude, this has got a bit weird. He was like, okay, yeah. And then he paid for me to get a taxi from Plymouth to fucking Sinclair. And I was home before I would have been home from my shift. Full day pay as well.
Beautiful.
Nice. So,
wow.
Wow. That's a dark story, Ollie. Sorry to hear.
I mean, you say you were hand-picked. It sounds more like you were groomed, actually.
I've been saying all this time groomed from the minute this conversation started.
I don't feel like I was groomed though. I enjoyed the whole experience.
That's the way it works, though, isn't it? That's how it works.
You're still defending him.
I don't think it was Al's fault. I think he liked
you're in a
more friends.
Place. You're in a safe place. It's all right.
Well, it wasn't Al's fault. So I'm still defending him. Shit. Yeah, no, I've been groomed.
Let's talk about this.
He's done an absolute number on you.
This feels like we should do slapback after chat. Make sure this is all sorted out.
Well, this is the point at which, if this was Jeremy Carr, we'd say, and of course, Ollie is going to receive a lot. I was going to say he's going to receive a lot of counselling, after this, but. I mean, if this was Jeremy Kyle, you're right, Dan. We would just be bringing Al out now and just, say, you haven't seen him in 15, 20 years.
Vampire Slayer.
That would make my fucking life. That would be amazing.
So what you're saying is a lot of formative experiences at Ginsters, which have
Christ. Is this how we've got to this conversation? What have you learned?
What have you learned? Don't great. Yeah. Two snoods great. Passes great. There we go.
Three. You are a minefield of.
Okay.
Lie back and think
next customer, Dave.
Yeah.
What has anybody said to you that's helped in life? Sage words of advice.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's nothing better than the. Sleeping bag stuffing.
That's untoppable, isn't it?
I think. Dan, have you got any?
Okay, my only one is from when me and Ollie were younger, and we did music we did. Ollie came and helped me do my music performance up in Plymouth, which we played together with the Bon Tempi on drums.
With the Bon Tempi. And then we got ripped off by some tramp as well.
Yeah. So we were young. We were quite young lads, like 22, something like that, 21, and we made friends with this homeless guy who bought us both a drink, and we were like, homeless people are cool, man. He just bought us a drink. He's homeless. This guy's really cool, and he kept on telling us about all this. He was like, I'm homeless by choice. I get loads of money, and he was just going on about all this stuff, wasn't he? And then we went, do you know anywhere that's got any weed? And he went, yeah, man, my buddy here can go and get some. So we went, okay. And then we followed him to the toilets, where he took our money, went into the toilets. We waited outside. We also got sidetracked, didn't we, a little bit with the Scientology. We got a little bit,
we had to go check that out, didn't we?
We got a little bit sidetracked with Scientology, and then we got sidetracked. We could turn around, and this guy had gone out the other end. There's like the toilets by the, remember there's like toilets that have got like one way in and then no real way out the other end. Well, there was a way out, and he just left.
There was a big way out. Yeah, got $40 of our fine euros. Yeah.
Yeah. So the lesson I learnt was don't trust the homeless.
Or additionally.
Which is
don't go into the toilet
lesson.
more than once.
This is where I tell you the lesson you learned is check all the exits of urinals before
when you are doing a drug deal.
Doing a drug deal. No,
Yeah.
I think the lesson is know your exits.
Yeah, know your exits.
So
it's the same thing they teach you first day in FBI school.
Yeah.
So you go into a room, you got to survey the exits. You got to know where your escape routes are.
Where is the drug baron of Colombia gonna hit you out as soon as you go to the toilet? The back door, most likely.
Door, boom.
Lock it.
If you'd have been to day one of FBI school, one of you would have been situated on that exit escape route, and when he went to walk out, you'd have said
down.
Clothesline.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you would have had to think up a line that had to do with. Yeah, I was thinking more kind of toilet based, I don't know.
You could have said,
"I'm about to flush you away."
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really.
I've washed my hands of you.
I like it. Yeah, we need to go back in time.
That's nice. Yeah.
You're in the shit. I'm shitting on you.
I mean, you could have maybe
taking you to the cleaners.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm taking
you could have just stayed there 5 minutes with him. Just say, no. I've got it. It's something about drugs and toilets. I'm gonna toilet drug. No, toilet drug doesn't work. You're a weed poo. So we and weed. There's a toilet, so you wee, and there's weed that we put. I mean, and then you could have worked it out with him. Come up with a real singer between the two of you.
You what are this? Urine, trouble, weed. Better get out of here.
Now that's the scene.
On said head.
Nice. We were talking about content earlier.
Gold there.
For some reason, the guy I support really finds this name hilarious. Urine Geller. Now, I don't know why he finds it so funny, but he finds that combination of words together brilliant. So
when does that combination of words happen?
Not very often, but they have come up. They have come up. Yeah, Urine Geller.
Urine Geller.
They have come up a couple of times, I do like that he loves that combination so perfectly.
I'm with him on that. It leads you one way. Urine, because you're thinking, what am I in? Is it piss? Geller.
Boom.
Oh, it's a bad pun on Uri Geller. Like I was going a different way.
You're thinking, is this about friends or Uri Geller or Urine Geller? Hey, it keeps you guessing the whole way.
I mean, I just thought I'd bring it up. We naturally got to pissing, and I just thought that just reminded me about Urine Geller. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
How did Urine Geller come up?
I don't know. I think he might have missaid it, but then I think it became a thing that was like, once you like misspeak, sometimes you create something, and then it just became something that he would say. think he was thinking to say Uri Geller, but Uri Geller came out, and I love.
That's yes, it's definitely funnier than Uri Geller. It's like 50% funnier than his real name.
Could be his brother.
It's disappointing younger brother who can only turn wee from yellow to blue. Like that's his. Can't bend spoons.
Yuri and Uri Geller.
Yeah. I will bend spoons in front of everyone. If you give me a sample of piss, I can probably change it from a light yellow to a really, really dark yellow.
You just give me 12 hours.
Yeah, I'm good. And no water.
Drink it.
Yeah. Sorry. Mine was a bad bit of content, but that was all I ever learnt was that.
Doesn't good or bad doesn't matter. It all goes in.
It's all as long as content, we're happy.
All goes into the content pie.
So, since we've been last together, what has happened? What things? What catch us up? We've had Dave's 40th birthday. Any?
Dave's 40th birthday. I wasn't there. I want to know everything.
What start of the start? It didn't start really for a day. The first day, nothing happened. Second day, Saturday night, at about 9 o'clock.
It didn't
about
start.
9 o'clock, this guy turns up and boom, this party gets started.
Yeah, everyone was kind of. There were a lot of whispers going around pre 9 o'clock Saturday. Like, should we just leave? Should we? Is it rude to leave on the actual main party night? I'm not having a good time. So that there was talk of a mass exodus, and then Dan turned up and basically said, "No, guys, we can turn this around."
It was like when black and white
put a
movies.
shift in for Dave. Come on.
Like black and white movies turned into colour.
He was my big gun, my special guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, man. How good a party was it? Say again, Ollie.
What did you bring to the party?
Well, a little something. What did I bring to the party? Just this fucking awesome persona. Everything.
He did bring a persona. It was the persona of like a sort of New York gangster. It was unusual. I've never seen that persona. It worked.
I was trying it out. I just trying it out for a weekend.
I just remember on the Saturday being, I was quite drunk both nights, but on the Saturday, do you ever get it when you've drunk too much or you've taken too much or whatever it is, and you just get one idea that rattles round your empty little head, and you think, oh, this is good. A bit like Uri Geller.
Yeah.
My thing was doing the splits and then saying, "Turn down for what?" And that was.
Oh, one of my favourite moments.
Just breaking out into that, doesn't have to be anything to do with what people were talking about.
Yeah,
just because I couldn't follow it, but I would just go into the splits and say, "Turn down for what?" And it got old pretty quick, but not for this guy. I was
theme from the Great White Telephone came out. That was good. I enjoyed that.
Oh God, I don't remember that. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten that I played that. Played theme for the Great White Telephone.
Yeah. Root juice as well. That was nice to hear.
Root juice. Yeah.
I brought the tiny travel guitar.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
I was going to say, did you have like a tiny travel band set up there, or just a guitar?
Just a tiny guitar. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Tim on the next day on Sunday pulled out his crazy folding out guitar. Silence. It did happen.
He didn't play it. That was the point.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the bike. It's a Brompton, wasn't it? He bought out his Brompton of instruments, and he just teased us. Was like, I've had this all weekend, and it was amazing.
Sorry, bitches.
I've never seen a fretboard snap into place like that with the strings all ready to go.
It's crazy. Have you seen it, Ollie?
I have seen it. Yeah.
But to do that on the dying minute of the last day, as everyone's leaving, just be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, chung." I could have cracked out any number of live or Stone Temple Pilots classics.
It's like turning up to a stag do, and then on the Monday morning, just as you're leaving, you reveal that there are 15 beautiful women sleeping in your van. And they've been there the whole weekend, just tired, but they're ready to party now. and then
why are they so tight? That sounds really.
Don't you worry about it.
Incredibly tired women.
You ask Prudence why they're so sleepy and they've been sleeping for 48 hours. I don't know.
Focus.
But there's nothing coming around, and their clothes aren't there, which is strange as well. They don't know where their clothes have gone, but they have come around, and they're ready to eat and drink, and get
really cool the place.
Once Prude hands them their phones back, absolutely, you've got a party going.
You got a party going on. You got something going on.
Was there any particular
There
hijinks?
was hijinks.
Hijinks galore.
What about when?
How high do you want your jinx?
What about with the door? What about the door and the karaoke? Oh,
the door was good.
That was good, wasn't it? That was a good time.
Are you enjoying these stories, Ollie? These half-formed, unspecific stories.
What did you jump off webs? I've seen like 2 blurred pictures of you.
I did not jump off anything. I did not jump.
No,
but
too high. Way too high.
It's too high, mate. And my knees won't. The old knees won't.
Nearly 40 now. Nearly 40.
You can't do the love bounce.
No. My knees. My right knee specifically. My left knee is probably as good as gold. But my right knee is it wouldn't accept that anymore. So even at that point, even at the point of kind of maximum drunkenness, there's a little voice in my head which says, "Your knees aren't what they were, mate." But I can still climb. I can still get up there.
I beg to differ, actually. So this is the aforementioned Joseph Webb climbing up a high wall. That's about half of the wall. So it's pretty high, very impressive.
But I did not jump off there.
Well, you did, because you jumped off the... We didn't know what was down the other side. We just assumed that it was the same height the other side. You jumped off knowing that it was only a couple of feet down, and we all went fucking mental until you popped your head back up again. And I think, Joe, we have subsequently discussed that you could have really done that a lot better justice by doing some kind of splat effect.
Yeah, I could have really... I mean, imagine how much that would ruin the atmosphere of the party. Is it like everyone's having a great time, and then someone simulates dying, and then comes back and is like, ha ha! I'd love you all thought I'd seriously hurt myself.
I mean, how good a prank for a party would it be to like line up a whole evening of just you being injured and out of the party, like in an ambulance, like laid out. But next day you're like, yeah.
You've hired an ambulance. You've hired actors. You've hired what do they call one of those heart palpitation machines?
Well, like a defibrillator.
Defibrillator.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Heart palpitation machine. Jesus Christ.
I've only got a few breaths left. I need the heart palpitation machine.
My palpitations aren't right.
Yeah. See, that's the point that everyone started to suspect that the paramedic wasn't really a paramedic. We said, no, you just stay there.
50 palpitations.
Heart palpitation machine. Defibrillator. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I said.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
That's what some people call it.
Okay.
I'm trained.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Electricity.
So there was maybe we should go through an itinerary of the hijinks, because it was right. So you had that Joe climbing all the walls.
Yeah.
You had
not jumping off them, just climbing.
Just
climbing them.
Well, that's good enough for me.
It's a little bit of an anticlimax, though. I do feel now in my advanced age that you climb up something, everyone's like, yeah, the big natural climax to that is like jump off it. Everyone's like, no, he's never going to do it. Halfway through in the air, you're like, yeah, I am. Land, do a little forward roll, like in the office with the IT guy say, what are you worried about? And everyone like stands up and cheers, and then they carry you out the party and say, don't come back. But that's the big climax. Whereas what I had to do was get to the top, be like, yeah, I'm the best. and then kind of slowly climb back down.
Carefully.
Kind of, It is actually quite high, isn't it? Yeah.
This is fucking high. Who's done this to me?
So that was hijink number 1. That was whiskey-based hijinks.
I missed that hijinks.
What was number 2, Russ?
Karaoke.
Oh, karaoke. Hijinks number 3 was sealing the karaoke, because the karaoke was pretty wild. Bit too wild for my old ears.
Yeah, so there was a point in the evening where the karaoke got just so bad that it wasn't possible. We were outside in the open air, but it wasn't possible to enjoy being 50 feet away from it. It was such a toxic environment going on inside that like anywhere within earshot was just like
torture. Yeah.
Even though we were far away in the open air, people were like, I can't do this. I can't. We've got to shut them in.
So I took up the mantle. I went in. I secretly closed the door. Went in, hung out with them for a bit, pretended I was their friends, and then I snuck back out again. And then Rich caught wind of what I did, didn't he? He saw through my plan, and then Joe got really angry. Joe Warren, and he then smashed through the door, didn't he?
Yeah, because there was a table. A table was put up against
in front of the door. Block him in, but it didn't. Joe kind of came through it like Terminator style, just through the door, tables falling everywhere, glasses, plates smashing. Yeah, it was pretty biblical.
They needed to be heard. This was not private karaoke.
No, this needed to be broadcast.
No. It had to be done.
Yeah, that was hijinks number 3,
and then.
Joe Webb, naked hot tubbing. I heard. I didn't see it.
Naked hot tub. Yeah. Only
Party
one.
Of one.
Party of one.
And for what with that? Or?
So it was me and Dan Smurthwaite. We would just suddenly found ourselves by the hot tub, and it just seemed like the best idea in the world to get into the hot. Like I'd forgotten there was a hot tub. You know how objects kind of blur into the background. It was covered up, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, there's a hot tub," and we just like, "Well, this is the best idea anyone's ever had." So in my haste to get in, I just stripped off fast, and what we hadn't discussed if it was a naked thing or it was a boxer shorts thing. But my presumption was we're going naked.
Yeah.
And then there was this little moment where I was naked and he was in his boxer shorts, and I was like, "Oh, I thought we were going naked." And he's like, "No, I'm not." And I was like, "Well, I am." So you can't die. The thing is, a bit like you're going into the flat with your shoes on the carpet. By the time you've already gone naked, you can't just dial that back and put the pants back on. You've got to brazen it out.
What
say,
about
did you ever put on a willy snood?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You could have stuck a condom on.
I could have stuck a condom on. That would have. That would have really.
Wait. Let me. Have you got Johnny?
And then
I know how I can make this less awkward.
This will be fine. I'll tuck my balls in as well.
I'm going to need to get erect for this to work.
Just that would have clarified the message.
But I mean, God bless him. He didn't bat an eyelid. So yeah, he was in his boxer shorts and I was naked, and we just hung out like two guys shooting the breeze.
Why don't this story's going to get sexual?
Was it just an empty hot tub?
The way it ends is basically it was very late into the evening, and I think honestly, I mean this. I'm not saying this in any kind of boastful or pride based way, but I had drunk more, I think, that evening than I've ever drunk in any evening, maybe ever, maybe not. I mean, I don't know, at least for 15 years. And so it ended when just me in the hot tub suddenly realizing that I have to get out or I'm going to vomit, basically. So we were there for quite a while. It was like a good 40-50 minute hot tub. So at that point I realized I've got to get out or I'm going to vomit. But then he also, I think, was on other kinds of things, and he had started hallucinating. So he was hallucinating. I was going to vomit. So it was a real strong end to the evening. But then the ultimate climb down was that suddenly there were loads of people around the hot tub when I was getting out. So I had to get out naked in front of everyone. But then also, unbeknownst to me, and this is a very good tip for everyday life, if you get in a hot tub, don't put your clothes next to the hot tub because they're splashing.
Yeah.
You know, and so my clothes were as wet as if I had just got in the hot tub fully clothed. So then I had to, you know, if you've ever tried to put on a pair of wet jeans, you know how difficult that is. Try to put on a pair of wet jeans after about 3/4 a bottle of whiskey, you know, and naked. It's very difficult. Try doing that in front of people who are all just like, "What are you doing?" It was the most ungraceful way to finish the evening. I was just like stumbling around with my cock out, kind of trying to put on a pair of stubbornly wet jeans that refused to go over my ankles, and just kind of tripping around everywhere. And then I went back to my room where Anya was staying and crawled into bed, you know, a couple of feet away from my lovely little boy, who hopefully will never know of any of this.
He'll know, Webbs. He'll know.
Dad.
give it 15 years and the archives, the slapback comes out.
Yeah.
He's gonna be loving
true. That's true. He can, you know, it is slightly worrying to think that at any point in time, should anyone ever discover this thing exists, like, well, not just, you know, anyone, like, you know, like, imagine that you're, I don't know, like a member of your family, Dave, just like goes, oh, I'd love to know what, you know, what Dave's like with his mates. I'll just watch 150 hours of.
I'd like to think that story arc would endear them after that time.
It's interesting though, because there are things that you know about your parents that they want you to know.
Yes.
And then there are things that you kind of maybe pick up from other I mean, or maybe not. Like some parents are quite straight-laced, and you know, but like occasionally I'll meet my dad's friends from like the 70s, and they'll kind of intimate like, oh, I could tell you a thing or two about, you know, you pick up things along the way, and you're like, all right, you know,
things you know before, you know, like I used to wait until my mum and my aunt used to get pissed up when we used to go up to Yorkshire to visit them, just to find out information on my dad from yesteryear.
Okay, and what did you get? Did you get any gold, or was it kind of, or was there nothing to discover?
A lot of gold. My dad was badass back in the day. Apparently, he used to just get fucking wasted on vodka and just start fights with people.
Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. Your dad's
and my mum used to just have to like drag him out of clubs and pubs and shit like that when they're on the holiday, and like so I was like, I knew there was some of it in there. There's got to be somewhere. So hence why I stopped drinking vodka. So but that was quite a nice little tidbit, so to speak. So I was like, go dad.
I love the photos of your dad, like the 70s photos of him on the motorbike and stuff. He looks like a badass.
Like fucking dude, man. Absolute dude. I found another one of him from when he was like 34. It's fucking scary. It's like with identical looking. Like I fucking identical. Apart from motorbike, obviously. But yeah, it's pretty weird. Pretty fucking weird indeed. What's the weirdest thing you found about your dad, Webbs?
It's not particularly weird. I'm trying to think what, like, he used to grow pot in his garden. That's not particularly weird. I don't know if this is true or if I've imagined it, but I'm pretty sure he told me once that he used to take acid and read books on acid.
That's quite a mission, isn't it? That's quite an investment of time.
But I mean, he likes reading books.
Yeah.
I mean,
like acid.
You might like acid.
But it's the kind of thing where you I don't know if you ever do this, but like now I question it because I can't imagine him telling me that. But I have a memory of it. But I also once had a memory of a guy at school
with the sheep.
No. A guy at school coming out, and obviously, you know, just that's completely normal. But then just like telling other people years later, oh yeah, and it was great that he came out and then people being like, no, he didn't. What are you talking about? He's got 2 kids and he's.
It's the Mandela effect, isn't it? Is that?
Yeah, and I just somehow I had a very strong memory of that, and it didn't. I thought Adam Shropshire was gay, and yeah, I know, and he's not. But in my head, he had come out at some point, and I thought, oh, good for him, that, and then you build a story and you think, oh, that was probably always on the cards, and I'm really glad that he I'm really glad that he kind of got the confidence and and support to do that, and I hope he's really happy, and I just was just having a conversation about it matter of factly, and then someone said, no, that's not true, and I thought felt really bad because I just thought what a weird thing to do. Just
like what do they say about dreams? Sometimes they're wishes and hopes. You know what I mean?
That is true. He's gorgeous, but I don't know if my dad's thing is true. I don't, because I can't. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like the kind of thing he might have done, but it doesn't seem like the kind of thing he would actually tell me that he'd done.
I had to stop dating Jodie because someone pointed out to me that she looked like Paddy, and I'd spent a load of time with Paddy. And I was like, oh, I can't go out of it now.
To be fair, they did have a point.
It's weird, isn't it? When you someone could plant the seed of something in your mind. You're like, oh, that's weird.
Have you? Is that the kind of the slimmest reason that you've broken up with someone for?
No.
Not by a long shot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the worst are. There's some bad ones. Sometimes you just know, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you know it's just time to get out. Whatever reason. You don't need a reason. You just can sense it.
I've always been in it. I've always been in it for the long haul. Even when I've known early doors, it's not a good idea. I've just thought, my natural inclination is just to grin and bear it and get on with it until it runs its course.
Isn't that how we've maintained our friendship for all these years? It's like, well, fuck it. One of us is gonna have to die.
Yeah, neither of us is enjoying this, but neither one is going to flinch first.
Yeah,
it's like a game of
chicken.
It's like the slowest game of chicken. Yeah, it's like who's going to admit that they've really not been enjoying this friendship? No, not going to do. Not going to fucking give you the satisfaction. Yeah. Me being the one to break it off.
I'm loving it. I'm going to be miserable every day, but I am loving this.
I'm loving it. I ain't backing down. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, how do you curate? Like, because you're a different person to lots of different people in your life, right? So it's and this is a very specific kind of environment that we all kind of be really silly in. Well, I can't imagine this Joe crossing over into, like, I don't know. It would be really weird.
Isn't this Mr. Butterball though?
This is Mr. Butterball, yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Mr. Butterball's got no kids.
Like Beyonce, you've got to have an alter ego.
Yeah.
Sasha Fierce, right?
You've got
Joe Butterball.
Have you seen Sasha Fierce? Have you seen that video on YouTube where Beyonce, they show her as Sasha Fierce, which is like a freeze frame of, oh my god, Google, just on your phone, Google like Beyonce, like Sasha Fierce, like it on like she turns up in a gig, she's like dancing and they do like freeze frame, right? And there's a moment where she's like Beyonce, and then there's like 2 frames where she becomes Sasha Fierce, and it's like really terrifying. She looks like a zombie or something. It's fucking scary.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, really good. It looks like she's been what's the word? Like when they.
Was that there?
Yeah, that's it. Yes, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, is that Sasha Fierce?
Yeah, that's her alter ego. But
I love the fact that her alter ego is just her going.
I got so many alter egos. I got guy. It's a very small alter ego, but central.
I mean, if you're a celebrity, you can get away with so many things. Like it's just not like if you, for example, Dan said, Oh, this is my alter ego, Paul Twat. You'd be like, that's not cool. Beyonce does it.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Oh no, here comes Paul
party
Twat.
tonight. It's Paul Twat. Dan's staying at home.
I can't wait to unleash Paul Twat some more.
Oh, maybe we should do a slapback where we all bring alter egos.
Oh, all
right.
Snapchat. Yeah.
Who's your alter ego, Fonts?
Ricky Mountain.
Is he like a Ricky Martin tribute act?
oh no, much better than that. There was Ricky Fontaine, which was when I was in Greece, and then for some reason my hair got slicked back. I don't know what happened, and then I was speaking in an Essex accent, and then that was Ricky Fontaine, and then Ricky Mountain happened because I slept with a girl when I was in Ayia Napa, and it turns out her ex-boyfriend got in contact with me about a month and a half later to get a guitar set up, and then he realised I was the same guy, and I looked at his profile, and he looks exactly the same as me, but from like Manchester, and then everyone nicknamed him Ricky Mountain, so that's where Ricky Mountain come from.
That's the best story ever. Like that should be the dialogue to like a Quentin Tarantino film. That's perfect.
Pretty small dialogue, but we'll go with that.
It's like just one man's monologue about Ricky Mountain.
But yeah,
awesome.
Now it's like default, absolutely blasted. Dickie Fountain is now Ricky Mountain. So yeah,
that's great. What's your alter ego, Russ?
Oh, Johnny Brains is my alter ego.
Johnny Brains. What do you do, smarts?
Johnny Brains is head of intelligence, obviously. But also a Daredevil skier. Daredevil stunt skier.
Ooh.
Does he get you in a world of trouble?
Johnny Brains. If I take Johnny Brains on a night out, it's carnage the following day.
And what's the kind of facial switch? Like it's like like when whatever his name is from The Usual Suspects becomes Kaiser Soze, there's just a subtle change of, comes across his face. What's the Russ switch to Johnny Brains?
Yeah, or like when Clark Kent, turns into Superman.
No, Kevin Spacey. You're Kevin Spacey in this.
Oh, okay. One or the other. Okay, I'll do this for you, but then I've actually got to leave. I've got to head off. Okay, ready? Right. Okay, this is me, still me.
Oh, this is you.
Okay, right.
Still me.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's still you.
Yeah. Still me. You ready?
Wait, that's Russ. That's Russ.
That's still me. This is Johnny Brains.
I love Johnny Brains.
That's Johnny Brains.
That's great.
I'll bring more of that out next time. Right, I've got to head up.
All right, gents.
See you very soon.
Let's reconsider. Let's end it out now. This has been Slapback Chat Frat. Nice one.
Okay.
And this all came about because Russ told an anecdote about folding some paper.
Slapback Chat Frat.